All right, so now we're gonna get into talking about the self-image and why developing the right self-image is important to becoming an alpha male. All right, a man that women find irresistibly attractive. The first thing about a self-image that you have to understand is that we all have a self-image, either consciously or unconsciously. What's a self-image? You may be asking yourself. The self-image is whenever you say that's just the way I am. Okay, the self-image is what we see in our minds whenever we think of ourselves. Okay, so some people may think of themselves as people who are victim of others, victim of circumstance. The reason why they think that is because they see an image of themselves being a victim of circumstance. Men who are attracted to women and women who love certain men, those guys have a self-image of women liking them. All right, people who never been successful in life are people who see themselves as people who are not successful in life. Okay, so we all have a self-image, if you know it or don't know it. But the thing is about the self-image is that it always matches your current circumstance. Your self-image is always a reflection of what's going on in your life right now. Okay, so look at yourself, how you look at yourself right now. Does it reflect your life? Most likely it does. Okay, and if it doesn't, it will inevitably reflect it. Sooner or later it will. So the key is to create the right self-image that will inevitably take you to that place that you want to go to. Okay, another thing about the self-image is that the self-image controls what you can or cannot do. For example, some people just say it's just the way I am. You know, I'm not the type who's social. I'm not a social type of person, or I'm not the type of person who goes out there and meets women. Like, the type of person are the limitations that you set upon yourself. So if you believe that you can never become an entrepreneur, it's because you don't have the self-image of an entrepreneur. You can't see it. Remember what we said earlier? If you cannot see it, it means you don't believe it. It means you don't have the intense desire. When you really want something, it's because you're seeing it in your mind's eye. All right. So what you have to do is ensure that the self-image gives you that ability to do what you want to do. So you have to see it in your mind first. Okay. Also, the mind, the reason why this is important is because that self-image is going to give you the capabilities to do certain things and the limitations to do certain things. So if you're someone who doesn't feel confident, if you're someone who has a self-image of someone who's not confident, what's going to happen is that self-image is going to give you anxiety around certain situations. But if you believe that you are someone who's confident, that self-image is going to give you the adrenaline rush to make things happen. For example, if you believe that you're someone who can't focus, what's going to happen is that self-image is going to give you anxiety around focusing. You see? So the self-image is kind of what gives you the emotions necessary to make you do what you want to do. So if you need the motivation to achieve a certain goal, all you need to do is get the proper self-image. So that rather than taking a lot of effort in order to achieve a goal, all you have to do is get the self-image, and all the emotions, all of the desire, all of the motivation will be given to you, because with that self-image comes the proper desire, the proper motivation, the proper determination to make it happen. Okay, but if you keep seeing the self-image of someone who's not confident, what's going to happen is that your brain is not going to give you the proper motivation to make those things happen. Another thing about the self-image is that the mind will ensure that what you have in your mind becomes reality. All right, it will ensure. What's going to happen is that you will fail. You will fail. You're going to zigzag. Okay, but inevitably, if you keep that image in your mind, it's going to happen. It's kind of like a computer. Your brain is a computer, and you are the programmer. Okay, you can have the strongest computer in the world, but if you don't have the proper program, that computer cannot function. All right. So if you need to access the internet, no matter how capable your computer is to access the internet, without the right program, which is the self-image, you cannot access the internet. You cannot, which in this case, you cannot achieve your goals. All right. So all you have to do as a programmer of your mind is see yourself, okay, as someone who's successful with women, as someone who is an alpha male, as someone who women want. All right. And what's going to happen is that, similar to writing a program, you can have a lot of bugs in the beginning. You're going to fail a lot. You're going to act incongruent here and there. But the more you keep that image in mind, the more the easier and the more congruent your actions will be. All right, it's similar to programming. You're gonna make mistakes when you create a program, but you're gonna go back and fix the bugs. You see a mistake, you fix it. All right, so the brain will ensure that you have the proper motivation and the proper resilience to fix those mistakes. But your only responsibility is to have a vision of what you want to look like and take action. You see what I'm saying? So all you have to do is to create a new self-images. Ask yourself, if I was an alpha male who women found irresistibly attractive, what would that look like? Just ask yourself that. And what's going to happen is that your brain is going to come up with different scenarios, different solutions, different images that represents the ideal goal that you want to achieve. Okay? And then pick one of them, whichever seems more proper, whichever seems the most accurate as to what you have in your mind, all right? And then all you have to do is take 10 minutes a day and go through a day of the life of this new self. Go from morning to night as to how this new self-image, as this new self that you want to achieve, that you want to become, how they go throughout their days. Notice the details, very detail-oriented. Notice the way it feels, and observe it from a third person's perspective, and then go into it in the first person perspective and notice how you feel, notice how you interact with your environment, notice how people react to you. Okay, and you do this for 10 minutes and you're gonna feel the motivation, you're gonna feel as though, man, this is possible. And so the feeling that I want you to get is a feeling of inevitability, from which we're gonna talk about in the next section. All right, so if you keep this image in mind and never give up, and you have that intense desire to become an alpha male, it will happen. It's inevitable. It's just inevitable. Your brain will ensure that it happens. Okay? So with that being said, have an image of how you want women to react to you, how you want people to react to you, and how you want to feel. Keep that image in your mind. See it every single day, and make it happen. So in the next section, we're going to talk about the winning feeling and how this coincides with having a proper self-image. These two concepts will make your success in becoming an alpha male that women find attractive inevitable. All right, so I'll see you in the next session. Take care.